State.
This wasn't just a secret scrimmage. This one was a secret scrimmage. Nobody knew about it.
Listen, Beaver, you can take shots, but Gonzaga scrimmages teams like Baylor. Okay.
Oh, they scrimmage teams like Baylor.
Wow.
He's wearing a Zag sweatshirt.
Wow.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? We're live.
Has like the hardest non-conference schedule in the country.
We're live right now. I think my mic's a little loud. Let me turn it down. Someone told me that my mic was louder than everyone else on the show, so I turned it down a little bit. Hopefully that helps that. Yeah, been a rough month, man. Well, actually, not really NFL. NFL, I'm about even in the last month. I actually think I might be slightly up. College football, though. Good Lord, dude. I cannot catch a break. Like, I was on the blatant wrong side of a few of them. Like Arkansas and Tennessee were the main two. But even the ones where it looks like I'm on the right side, Florida plus 14.5, somehow doesn't cover. Like, how the... College football is killing me right now. But let's not talk about college football. Let's talk about NFL. We got 12 games today, and it's off to a really frustrating start. I mean, the over in this Patriots-Colts game, it was so clearly the play. The entire world was betting the under. Everyone was on the under. They didn't move the line an inch. It's the two fastest-paced teams in the NFL. It's such a clear over bet, and it's 7-3. These are crazy, man.
It's just so stupid, and I knew it. When I talked to you last night, I knew it. I was like, "Watch!" And the world's gonna cash out on freaking Colts
like guys with a 70 IQ watching the Red Zone channel are picking at a higher rate than the professionals the last couple weeks. All right, so let's get it started. 49ers at Jacksonville. This number's still. Can I get a weather report, please?
I do not have that pulled up, but I know it's clear in Jacksonville because I was just looking at this game.
Okay. Is this still at 3? I got a 3.5 earlier this morning.
Yeah, it's still at 3. You could get 3.5 on DraftKings for the Jags. And then the total's at 44 points.
44. All right. Poll is running. Prop Beaver, who is cashing bets recently. Let's give him some credit. He's 18-4 in his last 22. He thinks his shit is sweet right now.
No, I'm not. I'm very humble about it. I'm not no piece of shit.
No, he walks into the office.
We're on the heater!
He verbally assaults Andy at the office, saying, "Get like me."
That's given. That's a given.
Like me.
Yeah. So for this game, I don't have a prop or anything. I'm gonna go with the Jags plus the 3 points. I don't exactly love the matchup 44 Niners. During their 3-game losing streak. What's been the case? Well, obviously, Brock Purdy's been more turnover prone, which is not great because the Jacksonville Jaguars, top 5 in turnover rate defensively. But the other issue that I'm seeing is that they just can't run the ball right now. Christian McCaffrey's efficiency has completely fallen off a cliff, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they're going to develop the run early here. I just don't know about that. This Jags defense is really, really good on the ground, has been so since last season, and I think they're going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey and force Brock Purdy to beat them. Now, if this was a heavy man coverage defense, then maybe I would concede, like, okay, Brock Purdy in a nice bounce back spot here. But the Jags defense has, pass-wise, has made a complete turnaround. This was a bottom 3 unit last year. Now they're a top 5 unit. And they're zone heavy, which Brock Purdy tends to struggle against a bit more than against man. And then on the other side, you got a 49ers defense that's also just dramatically underperforming right now. They're at their best when they're creating pressure, and they are creating pressure, but they're going to face a Jags O-line that's top 5 in adjusted sack rate and pressure rate allowed. On top of that, Travis Etienne has a better matchup than most people think. The 49ers rush defense has been very underwhelming this year, bottom 10 in most categories. And I just think that Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, they're going to be able to take advantage of the soft coverage on the outside. Trevor Lawrence, very good when not under pressure. As long as that O-line can hold up, I think they're going to succeed here. So I'm going to go with the Jags in points.
Let's bring up Andrew next. Andrew.
Yeah. I guess this starts another week of me just tailing Prop Beaver because I'm with him with I'm with the Jags with this one. I like what he said. He was right. Christian McCaffrey's efficiency and everything has fallen in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, coming back from an injury, I guess that's expected, but hasn't been great. Now you have Trevor Lawrence at home against a secondary that's been beaten up against Cousins and Burrow the last 2 times out. So yeah, I really like the Jags in this one today at home +3.
Yeah, I'm on Jacksonville as well. As you know, I'd said it on YouTube. All right, so there's a couple scenarios here. Number one, if the 49ers haven't figured their shit out, then I think we all can agree, comments, everyone, even those of you on the 49ers, I think you can all agree that if the 49ers hasn't figured their shit out, then Jacksonville +3 is a layup. I mean, the Jags at home, they've been red hot. 49ers have looked bad. If they haven't figured it out, then this is a layup. Not saying that's the case, but then Jags is the play. Now, if the 49ers have figured it out, I still like the Jags at +3. I mean, even when the 49ers were at their best, as road favorites, they were 2-4 against the spread as road favorites last year, 1-3 against the spread as road favorites this year. This is not the spot to back Kyle Shanahan, even if you think the 49ers are all the way back. I mean, Jacksonville's playing as well as any team in the NFL right now. They've won 5 in a row. 3 of those 5 games were by double digits. Went into New Orleans and scored points. Went into Pittsburgh and moved the ball. They had almost 400 yards of offense on the road in Pittsburgh. Jacksonville looks great right now. And then I'm not going to go through all the stuff I went through in the YouTube video. Trevor Lawrence has a good matchup. Brock Purdy doesn't have a good matchup. Jags defense looks awesome. I'm pretty certain Jags +3 is the side to be on. Now, if the 49ers come back and look perfect out of nowhere, of course they could win and cover this. But Jags +3 is where I want my money. Toast?
Yeah, I'm on Jacksonville as well, but I do not play in full game. I played Jacksonville in the first half because that's where I've been making money with them. So Jacksonville +2.5 in the first half, -105. You can get it at DraftKings. Look, Jacksonville this year, 7-1 ATS in the first half. San Francisco's on like a pretty decent, 14-day layoff, having to travel to the East Coast. I'll take my chances with this Jacksonville team. I think that if they're going to play well, I think they're going to have to play well from the start. So I'll take my chances. Everybody's getting around 3 for the full game. I'll take my 2.5 in the first half.
There's a ton of people in the comments saying 49ers aren't losing 4 straight. You know what everyone was saying 2 weeks ago when I took the Vikings? 49ers aren't losing 3 straight. So yeah, our poll's about split. Actually, it's dead even. 46% on Jacksonville +3, 45% on 49ers +3. So we are split as a community here. Let's move on to game number 2. Titans at Bucks. Let me clear the picks out. Weather, please.
Titans at Bucks for the weather. 81 degrees in Florida today. Great weather.
Great weather.
You said the last game was split. I'm keeping track of the votes.
Oh yeah, 40 Jags slightly win.
Okay.
Hold on, let me fix Toast's camera here. His face is cut off. Even though it might be an improvement. All right.
What the fuck was that, bro?
Can I get a weather report? Yeah, updated line.
You already got one, clown bag. Okay, so it's at 2.5 as consensus, and then the total's at 38.5, 39.
38.5, 38.5. All right, polls running. What do you got?
Okay, so in this game, I got Will Levis over passing yards. I got this at 210.5 earlier in the week. Now it's at 225.5. Always important to get those prop bets in early. So if you want them early, make sure to follow.
Oh my God, yeah. A shameless plug for yourself. What the hell?
A shameless plug. It's a shameless plug, but seriously, I had people in the Discord ask me like, oh, well, is it playable at this number? Like, why wouldn't you have played it earlier in the week when I put it in the Discord?
All right, next, are you going to tell people to smash that like button?
No, I'm not going to. I will never
I would turn your notifications on if you're following Bieber.
No, Jesus Christ. No, see, now you're setting me up for a bad day. Don't put some juju on me like that.
Share your notes.
Yeah, I'm better talk. I got Will Levis over 225.5 passing yards, just as good as 210.5 in my opinion. The gist, gonna just keep fading Tampa Bay through the air. QB 7-1 to their over against Tampa this season, and 7-1 to, well, actually 6-2 to over 222.5 passing yards. They're averaging 294.5 per game. He smashed both totals set for him the first 2 starts. Now he has his best matchup yet to rack up yards. Why is that? Because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just simply can't create pressure. Bottom 5 in pressure rate this season. With a clean pocket, Will Levis is averaging 9.3 yards per attempt, a 68.4 completion percentage, and a 9.8 big-time throw percentage. The dude is absolutely slinging it when he has a clean pocket. Buccaneers can't create pressure. It seems to be a wagon in terms of betting overs against them, so I'm just going to keep it going there.
Cool. Yeah, I like that angle, by the way. I like the matchup. We talked about this. I think this is like the first game we talked about when the week started. Yeah. We were like, yo, Will Levis is going to cook on the Bucs secondary. Do you have did you mention if you were to pick a side where you would be?
Fuck. Well, you know what it is? The fact that the money was like 50-50 and it moved to 2.5 for the Bucks. I think I'd probably
They did take
lay
some
the
late
point.
Bucks money though. It seems like they took a lot of Bucks action over the weekend. That's what it looks like to me.
I don't love this game at all. If anything, I'd probably bet the under. Two excellent red zone defenses.
I'm just gonna leave your Will Levis prop up because that's what you're more confident in.
I'm on Levis completions myself at 18.5. So yeah.
Look at this. This is a Will Levis program.
I was my main point.
26 completions a game.
That was my main point too. I think he's gonna dice up the secondary.
So you're on Will Levis pass yards also.
Yeah, pretty much. From
Jesus
week
Christ.
from week one, I was saying that from like week 1 to week 3, I was saying the Bucks defense is elite, and then they looked like shit every week after that. So like, I have no faith in their defense to stop him. His debut, he looked amazing, heaving the ball down the field to DeAndre Hopkins. So yeah, I have a lot of confidence in him. When it's obviously he didn't look great against Pittsburgh, but he looked okay. Like, yeah, I think that's why I'm leaning Tennessee. I think their offense is going to dominate in this game. So.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. The thing is, it's not really a sharp take. I feel like everyone thinks Will Levis is going to throw the ball over the Bucks, but with good reason. I mean, the splits look good for him. He looks confident throwing the ball. The Bucks secondary can't seem to stop everybody. And if you just look at a quick glance, where the hell's this graphic, dude?
Oregon.
There we go.
Yeah.
And if you just at a quick glance, you would think like, oh, the Bucks defense hasn't been that bad. They just had a bad day against CJ Stroud. Because if you look, it's like 22-16. The scores don't look crazy. But if you've been watching the Bucks games, they cannot stop any. That secondary is getting ripped apart week after week. If you remember, we had Bucks +7 on that. I want to say it was a Thursday night game. We were lucky as hell to get that cover with Bucks +7 because Josh Allen was doing whatever he wanted. It was a miracle that they only finished with 22 points. But the reason they only finished with 22 points, something you always have to remember when you're talking about this Tampa Bay Bucks defense, they have their weaknesses. They've been shown signs of being awful this year, but they've been really good in the red zone, which is why I think I would side with the professional money on Tampa Bay. But what I did here, and this, I bet this early in the week, and I didn't feel the need to place another bet on this, but I took the over at 38.5. I'm a little concerned with the pace of play and the Tampa Bay red zone defense. That's why this is a super small bet for me, but I took the under at 38.5. I got in on like Tuesday. The over. I'm sorry. What the hell am I talking about? I took the over.
I was going to say, wow.
No, I took the over at 38.5. I got in at Tuesday. The Tampa Bay red zone defense concerns me a little bit, but it's a small bet. Toast?
Yeah.
Where's Toast?
I'm here.
There he is.
The only other bet that I have is Rashad White under 53.5 rush yards. More of a receiver lately. Hold on, let me find my notes. 51st in running back efficiency over the year, averaging 3.3 yards a game. He faces a Titans defense that allowed just 70 yards rushing to opposing backfields. I doubt he gets over 40, so under 53.5 for Rashad White.
This guy just said in the chat, if you live bet the Pats, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So as expected, our community is leading the Titans, and that's what I kind of thought this game would look like. I thought everyone would be on Tennessee. That's why I was surprised at the lack of movement, but a lot of late money, like I said, coming in on Tampa Bay. Some sharps out there like the Bucks.
Really quickly, Bucks opened as an underdog, now a favorite. Since 2019, those teams 45 and 84 ATS.
Yeah, I heard that as well. That whenever you see that, it's usually a fade spot. Next,
It's still 7-3. Are you kidding me?
I know, dude. It's like insane. All right. I don't know why the screen's moved up. So we got Browns at Ravens next. Let's clear the picks. Can I get
Who run that poll?
Titans +2.5? And thank you for tracking that. Can't rely on Prop Beaver to do it.
Nope.
Can I get a weather report in Baltimore, please? Everything good there?
Yes. Weather in Baltimore today for Mr. Burrow and company. Partly cloudy, 54 degrees, 8-mile-an-hour wind to the northeast.
It's good.
Burrow's
good.
a Brown these days?
What did I say, Burrow?
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
said
he
Burrow.
did. He did. Oh, okay. Total?
Yeah, total's at 38, consensus line 6.5.
Totals at 38. Consensus line
I
6.5.
saw orange fever. Leave me alone.
Polls running. We already know Prop Beaver's all about this Lamar Jackson Ravens team. He loves them. Should I put it up there for you?
Yeah, just put it up. Just gonna keep betting the Ravens. This team's an absolute wagon. The defense is on a different planet right now. You have solid quarterbacks like Jared Goff and Geno Smith walking into Baltimore and getting absolutely annihilated. I don't think Deshaun Watson's nearly on their level. I also think this is a nice sell high spot on Deshaun Watson because his last 2 starts were excellent. Look great against the Titans, look great against the Cardinals. Guess what? Those are 2 bottom 5 defenses in terms of the pass game. Ravens are number 2. I think they're going to be able to shut down Deshaun. And on top of that, I really don't see anything coming from the run game. I mean, Jerome Ford's able to rip off a couple big runs, but his median rush yards per carry is 2 yards. So he's not very effective at all. And the Kareem Hunt also not a very efficient back. So it's going to be all in Deshaun. And I don't really have any faith in him being able to produce offensively. On the other side, you got Lamar Jackson, who I think is going to have to probably use his legs a bit more than usual, just like he did last week. Don't know about the efficiency there, though. I have seen that receivers are kind of getting to this Cleveland Browns secondary as of late. We saw Michael Pittman and Josh Downs catch their overs lately. We saw guys catch their over against them last week as well. So I think that the Ravens are going to be able to produce offensively. And I know it's a big number, but the books want you to take that 6.5 with the Browns. I refuse to do so. Going to just keep backing the Ravens no matter what.
Patriots just missed a 35-yard field goal.
A truly pathetic organization.
This is like the NFL's worst nightmare here. This
is the last morning game of the year, and this is what we're getting.
I know.
I mean, thank God, bro. Enough of this shit.
The people in Germany are probably watching this like, how do the Americans watch this sport? It's fucking horrible. All right, Andy, what are you on?
Yeah, you could put the Baltimore out for me, too.
Shocker.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know. It seems as if everything I say, or everything Prop Beaver says, I seem to be completely on. But no, I agree with him. If for Baltimore right now, anything they want to do on offense is working. They're running with backup running backs, and they're breaking up for 60-yard runs. Like, everything they want to do on offense is working right now. And I know Cleveland has a great defense, but, like, that's completely untested the past few weeks. They haven't faced a good quarterback in weeks. Like, yeah, I like Baltimore in this one. They're doing anything they want right now.
Yeah, same. I won't go too deep into this one because I already talked about this one on YouTube. But really, this one comes down to what kind of bettor you are. You like to follow the trends and the patterns, or you like to follow the football. And I don't think there's a right or wrong way. There's ways to win using both of those methods. If you're a trends and patterns guy, then Browns plus 6.5 is your move here because the underdog always covers in these AFC North games. They're always defensive battles. You're always going to want those extra points. That's the move if you're a trends patterns guy, and I don't blame you if you're on Cleveland. I can see it. Personally, the Baltimore Ravens are a train I don't want to step in front of right now. They're shaping up to be this year's Cincinnati Bengals. It took them a few weeks, but they've caught their stride, and it doesn't matter how many people bet them, how inflated the line gets. This team just continues to win and cover. That was a perfect spot to bet Seattle last week. I was all over Seattle at 6.5. Wasn't even close, and I don't even think, Geno Smith didn't have the best game, but as a whole, I thought Seattle's defense played pretty well. I mean, the Ravens' offense is making plays where it's like you can't defend that. I mean, if he's going to run that route and they're going to pick up the pressure and Lamar's able to make that throw, there's nothing you could do to defend it. When you play perfect defense, there is no perfect defense for a perfect offensive play. And then the Ravens' defense is obviously, I mean, might be the best defense in the league, truly, and they're healthy for the first time. I think the Ravens are going to continue to blow teams out. I don't see any other way through it. Lamar Jackson needs to show up and have a bad game. That's how the Browns cover this, and maybe he does. We've seen it before, but I'm not willing to bet against it. Toast?
You know me, I do like my trends and angles. So how does Baltimore keep on winning in that first quarter? So Ravens first quarter minus half a point, minus 105, 7-0-1 to this number in the last 7 games. I'm going to continue to bet it. Baltimore early in these games, they continue to play well, so I'm going to continue to bet it.
Ravens first quarter. That's what you're sharing with the people.
Yeah, I tell you, Monken has a great opening script. Is that
Ravens
Jesus
first quarter?
Christ.
Next week you'll have that graphic ready, I guess.
Ravens first quarter.
I'll start making quarter graphics.
You're the one to talk, Mr. Beaver.
Yeah.
No.
You want to talk about Ledbetter? You want to talk about Ledbetter? Guy's a moneymaker.
I gotta look at Toast VIP ticket. He parlayed Ravens first quarter money line with the Colorado School of Mines money line. It's a lock.
Oh, that was a sharp play.
Next game.
And it won. That's all that matters.
Tons of positive EV.
All I
Texans
know
at
is
Bengals.
Who won that poll? Sorry.
Can I get some weather report, please?
Yes, but who won that poll too? And what game were we talking
Ravens
about?
won the poll. And we're talking
We're on
about
Bengals, Texans.
Houston and Cincinnati.
Houston, Cincinnati, 55 and clear in Joe Burrow land.
It's a
That one's
beautiful
right.
day in America today. All kinds of good weather.
Yeah.
6.5? Or no, it's 6, isn't it?
Now it's at 5.5 now.
I got in at 5.5 early. I must have grabbed the first 5.5. I didn't know they would all be 5.5 later. Consensus total.
46.5.
All right. Prop Beaver, what's the deal?
All right, so I got to play for this one. I actually really like it quite a bit. I'm going with Dalton Schultz over 4.5 receptions. I got that at -102 last night on FanDuel. The guy is just seeing some meteoric leaps in usage right now. First 4 games, he was 0-4 to line. He was averaging just 2.5 receptions, 4 targets. He had an 11.4 target share and a 10 reception share, both 4th on the Houston roster. But the last 4 games, I mean, this guy's popping off. 2-2 to the over. He's averaging 5.8 receptions per game, 8.8 targets per game, and his 27 target rate and 29 reception rate both lead Houston during the span. Now he's going to face the Cincinnati Bengals defense that allows the second most receptions per game to tight ends. In their last 2 games, the Bengals, they allowed George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid to combine for 17 receptions. On top of that, Cincinnati has allowed 5+ receptions to the tight end position in all 8 games. And if you go ahead and look at tight end targets on Houston, Dalton Schultz has like a 95% target share. So that makes me very encouraged here. Adding the fact that we got Nico Collins out of this game, who's the wide receiver 1, the total at 47, and the fact that Houston are 5.5-point dogs, which could lead to a nice game script for us. I got to play it. Love Dalton Schultz to have himself a day today.
I'll put mine up. This isn't one I got in at Cincinnati -5.5. It's not one that I particularly love. T. Higgins is out, but what the deciding factor was for me? It looks like Jamar Chase is going to play, and the reason, excuse me, the reason that I was waiting on that is there was one thing Houston defense can do is stop the run, and if there was no Higgins or Chase, I don't know if I could get there. With the Bengals, with the fact that Jamar Chase probably going to play, I'd probably be on Cincinnati either way. So CJ Stroud looks awesome, but one thing he hasn't done is perform that well on the road. If you look at his game logs, I mean, all his good games are at home in Houston. He hasn't been completely terrible on the road, but there's a definite drop-off in production. His last 2 road games, at Carolina, at Atlanta, he was terrible in Carolina. Both losses for Houston. Cincinnati, another team, just seems to be finding its stride, even though they kind of faded a bit in the second half of that Buffalo game. Yeah, I'll take them here over Houston. It's not one of my. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because it's not one of my bigger bets. Let's swing it over. Should I just put whatever prop beaver bet up?
Yeah, just put Schultz over receptions.
Well, no, no, I'm with Cincinnati in this one. Yeah, they finally seem to be in a rhythm. Obviously, looking like one of the better teams in their conference, I should say. And off of a high for a rookie quarterback, I usually try to fade expectations there because I know there's a lot of people saying a lot of great things about Stroud. I think you said it, Prop Beaver. You brought up like, would they give the rookie a rookie the MVP award because he does have those numbers? Like
he should be leading the category.
I'm gonna temper my expectations. Just rookie quarterbacks coming off that. So yeah, I like Burrow in this one. I know now that Jamar Chase is playing, I feel much better about that offense because for a while I thought their number 1 was gonna be Tyler Boyd, but if with those 2 they should be okay. So yeah, I got Cincinnati.
Toast. Oh, let's get Toast on the screen. I don't know why he's all the way up here.
I was gonna say, why the hell does
I don't know how that happened. Toast.
Yeah, I don't agree with you guys. I like the Texans. I got them at 6.5 the other day. I do like CJ Stroud. I played CJ Stroud over 253 passing yards. I think this is not a great spot for the Bengals, who just had a huge win over Buffalo. And then guess who they have on Thursday night on deck? The Ravens. So this is a sandwich spot of all sandwich spots. So I take my 6.5. It's at 5.5 now, so I feel pretty comfortable with it.
All right, that's not a bad point. Our poll definitely on Cincinnati. And it looks like by a good margin, 57% of our viewers are laying the 5.5, 29% taking the 5.5. So Bengals win that one. Next, Saints at Vikings. This one just, I mean, I feel like at 3 you have to take Minnesota, but all right, let's run the poll. No weather report in a dome.
Consensus 3 over under at 41.
It's at 3. Vikings plus 3 over 41 under 41. All right, polls running. Prop Beaver, what are you doing?
Oh. Oh, I hate Saints games, bro. I just hate watching this team. I hate capping this team. They're disgusting. This is brutal, man. Josh Dobbs coming off that emotional win against the Falcons, which would be a fade spot. But then you got Derek Carr, who's like the least profitable quarterback of all time against the spread as a favorite. What really is killing me is if KJ Osborne was playing, all right, you got Addison, you got Osborne, you got your legs with Dobbs. You can make something happen. Now it's just a banged-up T.J. Hawkinson, Addison on the outside against man coverage, and then Alexander Madison, who his last 2 games is averaging like 2.2 yards per carry. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'll take the Saints. This is disgusting.
So you will take the Saints?
Yeah, I'll take it. Disgusting.
Oh, let me find the Saints graphic. I can't
Also,
believe
the Saints should have covered last week. They should, like, we got so lucky to cover with the Bears at the 9.5. They had 55 opportunities at the end of that game to just scored 3 more points and they couldn't do that.
I heard something recently or read something, I forget where I saw it or heard it, but that Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the red zone in the history of the NFL since they started tracking red zone stats. I don't know if that, I read it somewhere. I don't know if that's like, don't quote me on that, but apparently he's just that bad in the red zone. I'd be on the other side of this one. I didn't bet it though. Let me go find the graphic. Last week I took Atlanta against the Vikings, and about midway through the second quarter of that game, the Falcons were winning, but I knew that I was on the wrong side. I was guilty of what a lot of people are guilty of. In football, more than any other sport, they overvalue. There's this graphic. God damn. They overvalue superstars. And yeah, it makes sense in the NBA when one player has such an impact, but Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, obviously a huge part of this team, and the Vikings are definitely impacted, but the defense is playing really well. Minnesota's defense is up to 10th in overall DVOA. This is a top 10 defense, and I don't trust the Saints to go on the road and lay a full 3. I didn't actually bet this one yet, so I don't want to sit here and like pound my fist like, oh, you gotta bet the Vikings. I didn't even bet it. But this is the way I would lean, and if I'm gonna place a last minute bet on this one, it would be on Minnesota, as long as I'm getting the full 3. I completely understand. If you're on the Saints, I get why you're there. And also, like Josh Dobbs, I completely get why you would want to fade him. He doesn't win a lot of football games. I mean, he got so much hype this year. How many football games has he won? 2? No, I think it's just 1. He has 1. No, 2.
He won 1 in Arizona.
Yeah, he's won 2 football games. So I get it if you're on the Saints, but the Vikings defense at home, and I'm getting a full 3 against the Saints team I don't trust. So yeah, that's where I would be on this one.
Yeah,
Gross.
I don't love.
You're on the Saints. You're on the Saints.
No, I'm just on the under. I don't like a side in this game at all. But yeah, I don't expect the Minnesota's offense to be able to do anything. Dobbs early on, obviously, I think it was week 1 or 2. He was playing really well because teams just weren't prepared for him. There wasn't a lot of Josh Dobbs films out there. There wasn't much to know about him. Then once people started actually watching film, they could figure out how to get him. Atlanta didn't know he was gonna play, right? He had just been traded there. Jaron Hall was what everybody was expecting. Hall gets hurt. Dobbs does the hero act, whatever. I don't obviously expect that again today, so I don't expect their offense to do anything. So I just like both offenses are kind of mediocre to me, so I'll take the under.
All right, Toast is way up here again.
Yeah, one of those games where Saints were a favorite, or Saints were a dog, now they're a favorite, or whatever. The lines flipped. So obviously, you guys know, like I talked about before. And then Carr in this spot. This is kind of a little bit out there, but hold on, let me try to find it. Essentially, whenever Carr, especially when Carr takes it, like Beaver said, anytime that he's a favorite or whatever, he's just like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So I actually like playing unders with the Vikings. They're like one of the top 5 under teams. They're also 8-0-1 to the first quarter under this season. You can get the first quarter under 7.5 at -130. I think that's a little bit better way to play it than the full game under because everybody's going to be on it, but that's just me personally.
Toast first quarter under. You should change your Twitter name to First Quarter Bets.
Yo, I'm gonna change my Twitter name to Cash Money Baby.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna change your Twitter name to. Yeah,
that would be something.
I'm actually going to do that right now.
47% taking the Vikings. So our community is heavily leaning towards Minnesota. 33% of the Saints. Vikings win that one. All right, next game. Packers at Steelers. This week sucks, man. Every single game, I'm like, oh.
Who won that poll? Sorry.
Vikings. All right. Can I get a weather report in Heinz Field? Oh, it's not Heinz Field anymore. Weather report in Pittsburgh, please.
What is it called now? It's 51 and clear. Sure. All good.
51 and clear. Updated line.
It's at 3. Watching Mac Jones is painful. Jesus Christ, man. This guy's like terrible. Holy God.
Total?
Yeah, at 38.5.
38.5. 38.5. All right, poll is running. Prop Beaver, what are you doing?
I'm going with Aaron Jones over 52.5 rush yards here. I think this is the way the Packers cover this number, and I think the Packers cover the number today. After a heinous start to the season, it looks like Aaron Jones is back. First 4 weeks of the season, just 7.3 attempts per game and 31 yards per game on the ground. Not great. But last week, Coach LaFleur said he was going to take the chains off of Jones, and he went off. He had 20 attempts for 73 yards. Now, the efficiency wasn't great. But if he's going to get that workload, I don't think it really matters here because he's going to face the Steelers defense that's been quite good through the air due to their pass rush. How do you neutralize the pass rush? You make them respect the ground game. This is a large reason why the Steelers are allowing the seventh most rush attempts per game and the 4th most rush yards per game. Some are saying that Cam Hayward being back for the Steelers rush D is huge. But
yeah,
isn't
he not even – he might not even play.
Well, I saw he is playing.
He is playing?
He's grading – He's grading at a career low 54.3 on PFF in the run stuffing department. So that doesn't really faze me. And on top of that, they're going to be without their starting nose tackle and left inside linebacker Cole Holcomb, who was their best defensive stopper in terms of the linebackers. He's getting replaced by Quan Alexander, who's been terrible against the run. We've now seen 5 of 7 healthy starting running backs to face Pitt go over the yards line. And if Chubb didn't tear his MCL in the second quarter against Pittsburgh in week 2 or 3, he would have made it 6 of 8. Jordan Love on the road under pressure, not a spot that LaFleur wants to put his QB. So I think we're going to see another run-heavy approach, and the books agree with me because Jones' rush attempts line is at 12.5, juiced -150 to the over. And with 13-plus rush attempts since 2021, Aaron Jones is 14-1 to the over, averaging 90.2. On the road with 13-plus rush attempts since 2021, he's 6-0 to the over, averaging 87 yards per game. I think he's due for a big run. He hasn't had a rush over 10 yards thus far. I think he's going to rip a big one today. I think he cashes this line, and I think the Packers do enough to cover the number in a sneaky spot. So, yeah.
You're on Packers, too?
Pack up.
Yeah, I didn't put Packers on the ticket, but that's the side I'm on, and I think I'm going to put this down as a last-minute bet, and it's for the same reasons you said. Look, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been finding ways to win games. I've actually done really well on Steelers games. I bet the Steelers 5 straight weeks. I went 4-1, and then I faded them with the Jags. I won that one. So I've had a lot of success betting Steelers games, and I've watched almost every snap of every single one. And one thing, I had the Steelers again on Tennessee. So I've been crushing Steelers games. One thing I will say about Pittsburgh, I haven't seen enough to lay a full field goal or more in a football game. They're scrappy and they don't make big mistakes, and their defense keeps them in games. But we're talking about laying a full field goal here. It's a little bit different. If you remember in the Tennessee game, I wanted it at 2.5. I was really hesitant at 3, and that was against the Titans on the road. Titans on the road is one of the worst teams in the NFL. Not that the Packers are much better, but exactly what Prop Beaver said. I do see a path to a win here, and it's Green Bay running the ball with Aaron Jones. We know the Steelers can be run on. Even last year, when TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, they still couldn't stop the run. Oh, that was 2 years ago. My bad. They still couldn't stop the run. Even when the Steelers defense are at their best, that's their weakness is stopping the run. Packers are going to come out and run the ball. It's going to be a low-scoring defensive game. I would lean under, but I'll take the full 3. This isn't on the ticket or anything, but that's the side I'm on. Let's go over to so should I put Aaron Jones over?
Yeah, no. You're right. The path to winning is running the ball. And the Packers 3 wins. That's the most rush attempts they've had in games. They if they're gonna win, they have to run, right? Jordan Love, I think he had his career high in completion percentage last week, but that was against the Rams, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, to win, they're gonna run. So I'm actually leaning the under because when teams run the ball, usually that means the under is gonna happen. Quicker games. I don't really lean aside in this one because I could see the Packers getting blown out. I could see them barely sneaking by. They are a very weird team right now. So yeah, and Pittsburgh is too. Pittsburgh can't really throw the ball. They want to run the ball too. So yeah, 2 very similar teams on offense. So I expect the under.
Toast, and of course he's gone. Here we go.
I'm gone?
No, you're back. No, not you. For some reason, when I switch to your camera, the screen goes up. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. So, 2 of these teams, I know I have a lot of weird bets this week, but 2 of these teams at first half unders, Packers, first half unders this season, 6-1-1. Steelers first half unders, 7-1 on the season. So first half under 19.5 for me. And then Packers plus the points. Matt LaFleur as a dog in his career, 16 and 8 ATS, and then just in general as in the NFL, underdogs with totals under 42, hitting at 65% in the NFL since 2018. So first half under for me, and I'll take the points with the Pack.
Dude, we need to get your graphics on here. I don't have a first half under graphic for you. So someone just said all of Will Levis's props have been removed. I'm not seeing anything that he's out, so get yourself a new sports book. How about that?
I will go check that.
No, I mean, I'm not seeing. I just searched on Twitter. Nothing that says he's not playing. So, all right. Falcons at Cardinals. Another just great game. Can't wait to bet it. Like, what the hell?
Did the Steelers win that poll, or did the Pack?
57% of our viewers are laying the 3 with Steelers. Steelers looking like the heavy public side here. Green Bay plus 3, 27%. So Atlanta at Arizona. Is this one still 1.5?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load real quick. I think it's at 2.5 now, if I believe so. Yeah, it's at 2.5.
I did see some books starting to move it.
Yeah, 2.5 consensus, 43.5 for the total.
Under 43.5. So I'll go first because I don't even want to. How can we make an educated bet on this game? Honestly, who knows what to expect? Kyler Murray playing with an OC and an offensive system he's never played in before. I don't know how we can expect him. Or you know what? Better way to phrase that. I don't know how we can possibly try to predict what's going to happen. The Falcons have a good secondary, but they are really vulnerable to the pass. They're really good against the run, though, and the Cardinals, the only success they've had this year offensively is running the ball. So I think the Falcons' defense matches up well against the Cardinals' offense. I like that angle for Atlanta. But on the other side of the ball, I could see how the Falcons might struggle to move it here. I mean, Taylor Heineke's going to have to make plays through the air. The Falcons' run game, not only has it fallen off a little bit recently, but the Cardinals, they've been decent against the run. Decent, not good. The Arizona offense has been vulnerable to the pass as well. So we got 2 teams playing here that need to throw the ball and 2 quarterbacks that have huge question marks next to them. I mean, I guess the book's out on Taylor Heineke. We can handicap him as a below-average quarterback, but I don't know what to expect with Kyler Murray. So I'll take Atlanta. I didn't bet this one either. So this is the side I would be on. Sucks, but where are you at, Property Viewer?
I mean, oh my God, this game stinks.
I know. It's like, what are we even supposed to do?
Maybe I'd look at Marquise Brown over receptions. It's Kyler Murray's first game back. His defense is still absolutely atrocious. I think that Bijan Robinson is going to get fed this week. I think that Arthur Smith is going to come to the realization eventually that, like, he's going to get fired for not using this talent. Like, this is getting ridiculous now. The guy doesn't use any of his top 10 draft picks from the past 3 seasons. Like, you're going to get fucking fired if your team is performing this bad. So I think he has to use those guys this week. Taylor Heineke's a much more functional quarterback than Desmond Ridder. Drake London's excellent. Should be able to toast him on the outside. Kyle Pitts looked great last week. And then Bijan is an effective running back. They just need to give the guy opportunities. I think those are going to come this week. So as gross as it is, I'm going to lay the 2.5 with the Falcons. I just don't think the Cardinals are there yet, even with Kyler Murray back. Maybe in a few weeks when Kyler Murray has his group back, but first game off an ACL, may not be as mobile as normal. I'm going to take the Falcons.
Here's what kept me from putting Falcons on the ticket, though. In the last 5 games for Arizona, the only team that could run the ball on them was Baltimore. They've actually been doing a good job defending the run. If I saw a pattern of teams running the ball on Arizona, I'd be in on this. I'd have money on this already. I don't, because if the Cardinals stop the run, now we're talking about laying 2.5 points with Taylor Heineke throwing the ball on the road, and that's not exactly a position I want to be in. I agree with you, though. I expect the ball to get into the hands of the Falcons playmakers, finally. So I'm on the same side as you. I'm not debating you, but that's what kept me from really pulling the trigger on it.
Game stinks.
Fair enough.
It does stink.
Andy.
Really quickly, I don't know.
We'll bring up Toast.
Yeah,
We'll bring up Toast.
The only thing I was going to say was, as I was trying to find little things in this game, I was looking at AJ Terrell under tackles, and the only reason I wanted to bring this up is because it's been juiced up way under now. But Atlanta's scorekeepers hand out the 3rd highest rate of assists and tackles, while the Cardinals have a bottom 5 rate at home. And so essentially what you're saying is that anytime a team, if you're playing defensive props in Arizona, it's a good thing. If you're playing them in Atlanta, it's a bad thing. Or I'm sorry, reverse that. But yeah, that's just one thing that I was thought that was really weird. But I'm trying to figure out now where a website that I can find out the actual numbers of those. Who had what?
I saw that in an article too. What the hell is that? There's scorekeeper
PFF.
splits now. I mean, there's never enough.
I don't know, but
really.
that's why I mentioned it, because I thought that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that too for another game. I thought I saw something where the Titans have the worst scorekeeper. I don't know. This shit's insane, man.
Yeah, I just don't know where to find that information.
I don't care about that information. What pick am I putting in front of you?
When everyone's there, I don't really have a play on the game. Sorry.
Oh my God! Doesn't even have a play.
Dude, I played that thing under 3.5 at -135. It's -190 now. What am I supposed to do?
Well, don't worry, because we're bringing up the ace in the hole. His title says untitled.
I'm actually on Arizona in this one. I've backed Atlanta, I think 3 weeks in a row now. I've lost count how many times. They might be the team I bet on the most for some reason, because I have for some reason I've had a lot of confidence in them against their opponents, and they just have failed every time. So, I don't know what Kyler Murray's gonna do. You're right. He could be awful, or he could be great. But I know Atlanta's gonna do something that's gonna make me scratch my head. I know Arthur Smith is going to have me yelling at the TV if I bet on them. If I think Arthur Smith's gonna make a great play call, I know I'll be wrong. So I'm completely off of Atlanta. I'll back Arizona in this one just because of that. I don't love it. Nobody loves this game. So, yeah.
Wow, he's on an island. Fading Prop Beaver.
Wow.
About time.
Fading Prop Beaver.
I mean, I don't blame you. Truly the biggest moron in the NFL.
54% of our viewers are on Atlanta. So Falcons won that poll. 31% on the Cardinals plus 2.5. 7% under. 5% over. Next. Chargers, Lions. Finally, a good, exciting football game. Can I get updated line, please? Is it 3 still?
The line currently, waiting for it to load, is at 2.5.
2.5.
Consensus totals at 48.5 consensus.
2.5. 48.5, you said?
Yes.
Under 48.5. Well, I'm glad I got mine in already. I'm in the Chargers plus 3. Prop Beaver, what are you on?
Yeah, I'm gonna join you with the Chargers, even at the 2.5, which is big roast. But I think they win this game straight up. I know fading the Lions is a bit scary. I mean, they're basically America's team at this point. Everybody loves themselves some Jared Goff and co. But I think this Chargers team is in a nice spot here. I think the Lions on the road are a bit overrated. We saw them go into Baltimore and get killed. Now, I know the Baltimore Ravens are next level, but this Chargers defense is starting to find some things there. They're creating a lot of pressure lately, which is really key in this matchup because Jared Goff under pressure bottom 10 quarterback in the league. If Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa can get to him like they were against Zach Wilson, against some other guys in the past few weeks, then they're going to make Jared Goff's life hell over there. And then on top of that, on the other side of the ball, yes, I know that there's no Josh Palmer. I know that there's no Mike Williams, but I'm not scared of this Detroit Lions pass defense. The only good offense they faced in the past 6 weeks ripped them to shreds. Lamar Jackson almost had a perfect passer rating against them. He absolutely shat on them. I think that Herbert's in a nice spot to produce here. Keenan Allen, he could go in the slot, he could go on the outside, and I think he could beat whoever corner you put across from him. Quentin Johnson was horrendous last game, so I see a bounce back for him, maybe a big play for him. And then in terms of Austin Eckler, yeah, he dropped all those catches last week. I think he's going to be a big part of this one, getting involved out of the backfield, and they're not going to beat him on the ground, but they're going to beat them with the short game, kind of dink and dunk their way up the field, and that's how I see the Chargers winning this game. So I'm going to back LA. Also, the fact that everybody and their mothers on Detroit and the line moved the opposite way, give me the Chargers.
Really hard to add to that. He said a lot of the same exact reasons. I'm on it. I got it at 3, obviously, as I mentioned a couple times. I love the buy low spot for Justin Herbert going off the Jets game. People are like maybe down a little bit on Justin Herbert. Nobody's thrown the ball on the Jets in MetLife. Jalen Hurts had a bad game. Patrick Mahomes had a bad game. Josh Allen had a bad game. How are you going to trash Justin Herbert for having a bad game in MetLife Stadium and no one's throwing the ball there? Detroit, exactly what Prop Beaver said. I'm not sold on their pass defense. Yes, they have good numbers recently. They haven't played anybody. They haven't seen a good quarterback since, the last 6 weeks, just what he said. Lamar Jackson's the only good quarterback they've seen. He ripped them up. Remember, it's not like we're conjuring this theory like, well, maybe the Lions' pass defense is bad. It was terrible last year. They added pieces. All the pieces they added are hurt, well, for the most part. I think the Lions' pass defense is bad. Now, are the Lions is Jared Goff going to be able to throw the ball and score points on the Chargers' pass defense? Yes. Yeah, the Lions' offense is talented, but like Prop Beaver said, Chargers' pass rush seems to be waking up. The run defense has been awake. No one's been running the ball in the Chargers. Getting a full 3, I love it. I'm on Chargers plus 3. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I don't have a side in this one. I just have the over. I expect these like you said, these pass defenses are not good. I expect both teams to be able to throw the ball a lot and score a lot of points. The injuries for LA concern me a little bit, but not enough for me to think they're not going to at least put up points on this awful secondary for Detroit. There will be a lot of pass rush in this game, but I don't think it'll matter enough to stop the points. So, over.
Toast.
Yeah, I took the Chargers. As well, but I also played Sam Laporta over 50.5 receiving yards, tied in for the Lions. From PFF, Lions are very good throwing the ball over the middle. They ranked 8th in expected points per pass. The Chargers on defense ranked dead last in EPA per pass allowed over the middle, and they're really bad on third downs, which is Laporta works at. So Sam Laporta over 50.5 passing yards as well, or receiving yards as well.
All right, this is a Chargers program today. I like it. Our poll definitely on Detroit, though. As expected, Detroit's the most public play on the board this week. 52% of our community is on the Lions, 34% on the Chargers, 7% over, 5% under. Next. Giants at Cowboys.
This is a dope game. Like, fuck, man.
Like, how do you even preface it? Like, NFC East showdown.
Woo!
It's a rivalry.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put it on and see like the pregame like promo and the graphics come up like did it.
Straight ahead.
Big Blue goes to Big D. God.
A rivalry older than time. It's like Georgia versus Vanderbilt.
The New York football giant.
This is something.
All right, so consensus line 17.5.
Yeah, 17.5. Totals at 38.5.
The totals only
The Giants team totals 9.5, right? That's what I
it's
saw.
9.5.
That's insane.
I tried to find a market for a shutout and I couldn't find it. So
Oh, I'm sure you
All
could
right,
muster up an
Yo,
MVP.
Proppy, share your analysis on this game.
Yeah, okay. Tommy DeVito under 0.5 passing TDs. Got that at -115 on points bet. To put it very nicely, Tommy DeVito should not be sniffing an NFL star. I mean, this is insane.
He lives with his mother.
This is a guy who lost his job at Syracuse and was mediocre on the college level. In his first game with serious work against the Raiders, the numbers would suggest it actually isn't the worst. I mean, he completed 75% of his passes. He averaged 8.8 yards per attempt. But he had 2 TDs, and he got a touchdown very late in that game when the Raiders were already thinking about going in the locker room and smoking cigars. And that was against a zone-heavy defense the Raiders have. And they had a massive hole in the ground to exploit, too, because the Raiders' bottom 3 defense against the run, Saquon Barkley, he had 96 yards in that game. Still, with Barkley having 96 yards on the ground, averaging 5.6 yards per carry, and with Tommy DeVito completing 75% of his passes, the Giants went 3-12 on third down. Now DeVito has to enter A&T Stadium after the Cowboys suffered a gut-wrenching loss to the Eagles last Sunday. Good luck, Tommy. I hope mommy knows how to get piss stains out. The Cowboys at home possess a 25% opposing red zone TD percentage and a 25% opposing third down percentage, third and fourth best amongst teams at home in the NFL. While DeVito was able to take advantage of some of the zone looks on Sunday against the Raiders, look at his numbers through a brief sample size against man coverage, which the Dallas Cowboys are second in. 44 completion percentage, 51 passer rating, and a 0.69 air net yards per attempt. It's hard to put into words how atrocious that is. Without Waller, I just don't trust the trio of Slayton, Hyatt, and Robinson to beat Dallas one-on-one. And I would be shocked if Saquon Barkley has the same production he had on the ground last week. Take out the Arizona Cardinals game, and the Cowboys' rush defense has been amazing. They're allowing just 3.45 yards per carry. Another reason I like this is because Dak has been immaculate at home. If he gets another early lead here, the Cowboys' pass rush is going to be able to pin their ears back and make DeVito's life hell, likely forcing turnovers in the process. I only went 0.75 units on this because touchdowns could be a bit of a luck stat. I mean, we lost Zach Wilson under 0.5 touchdowns against Dallas in week 2. Why? Because of a blown coverage. So I'm only going to bet it for 0.75 units, but this is the best way to bet this game, in my opinion. A putrid game at that.
A putrid game, he says.
This feels like a college game to me. Yeah, the only way I'd go 17.5 is because it feels that way. Like, I'm on Dallas in this one. They just got blown out by Vegas, and Vegas obviously had a different type of energy, but they're coming off a loss to a division rival. They're mad, angry. They're going up against the Giants. Yeah, -7. I have no reason as to why I would believe the Giants keep this close at all. Like, so
yeah. Do I have to even give an answer? I mean, I guess I'd lean Dallas. One thing I will say about Brian Daboll, and a perfect example was back on Sunday Night Football in their game against the Bills, where everyone laughed at me for taking Giants plus 15.5. One thing Brian Daboll could do is he can coach. He can identify his misadvantages, I guess. Disadvantages. Wow, what the hell? I need another coffee. Obviously, he knows he is severely limited with what he can do offensively. Just like in that Bills game. At the time, this is before all the injuries to the Bills defense. At the time, Buffalo had an elite pass rush, and the Giants couldn't protect anybody, and they had injuries to their offensive line. So what did he do? He had Tyrod Taylor shifted right out to the right out to the left. He didn't take a single 5 or 7-step drop all game. That's an exaggeration, but that's what he did. He worked with it, and he had some success. The reason I'm saying that is, don't be surprised if Brian Daboll comes out with a game script that's able to get the ball down the field a time or two. Probably not going to get in the end zone, but I'm on Dallas just because everything Prop Beaver said is correct. There's no logical reason why the Giants should cover this, but I do like Brian Daboll as an offensive mind, and I can't believe, like, it's really crazy that this could be a flat spot for Dallas because they can't be. It's NFC East. They want to kill him. Scratch that. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, I'm on Dallas, but I just hate it. It's stupid. Toast.
Yeah. I'm on Dallas as well. 2 lovely trends for you guys. Dallas, in the last 3 seasons, after a loss, straight up 11-1, which doesn't really do anything as far as a big point spread, but Dak Prescott, as a favorite of 6 or more, 27-11 ATS. Only Tom Brady in that role has a better record in the last 20 years. So Dallas -17 for me. And yes, I'm a Cowboys fan, so that's super homerish.
Our poll is also on Dallas. Cowboys won the poll. Yo, Cowboys minus 11.5 better not be in the community teaser. Please.
Why? It's
Oh, and Jake
Free as a
Ferguson
bird.
touchdown. Jake Ferguson touchdown.
Free as a bird. Probably says free as a bird. Washington at Seattle.
Probably bird. Could I interest you in a New York Giants no touchdowns at plus 175 as a team?
that
can
is
he
actually
interest you in
pretty
that?
interesting. No, I think I'd rather just focus on big old Tommy DeVito.
Big
Okay, I
ol'.
was just seeing if you're interested.
Weather in Seattle, please, Toast. You live up in those parts.
I do not live in Seattle.
You're
Please do
somewhere
not
up
say
there.
that. I'm up there. It's raining. It's rainy and crap. I can tell you that. 94% rain. It's 52 degrees. The wind's blowing all over the place.
Shitty
Disgusting.
weather in
Gross.
Seattle. Okay. Consensus line 5.5 now, or is it still 6?
Nope, 6, and the consensus total is 44.5.
So shitty weather.
Shocker.
Polls running. All right, Prop Beaver, what do you got?
This is tough because I'm really not a big fan of the Seahawks, but I think that in this spot, I'm going to ride with Seattle. Main reason I'm going to ride with Seattle here is because my main caveat with Geno Smith is that the guy sucks under pressure and doesn't handle blitz well. Well, the Commanders don't blitz often, and they're not going to create much pressure without Montez Sweat or Chase Young coming on the outside. When Geno Smith's at home, no pressure, he's quite goddamn good. And what the Ravens were able to do last week, which I really think limited the Seahawks offense, is they were able to take away the run. Commanders just got ran all over by Ramondre Stevenson last week, one of the least efficient running backs in the NFL. I don't think that it only affects the pass rush for the Commanders, but I think it's going to affect the rush defense too. So I think that the Seahawks are going to be able to put up numbers offensively in this one. And then on the other side, we got Sam Howell, who, yes, he looks great. He's able to put up the counting stats, but I mean, watching him, it's hard to put aside the fact that he really is like a turnover-worthy play machine. He constantly puts the ball in harm's way, and I ultimately just don't trust him to produce that much here. Jahan Dotson's really been shining for them some of the past few weeks, but they're really good at locking up wide receiver twos. I don't really know if I trust the remaining options besides Terry McLaurin to produce in the spot, especially if Brian Robinson can't run the ball here against a stout Seahawks rush defense. I'm just not loving it. So it disgusts me, but I'm going to lay the points with Seattle.
Same boat, but I wouldn't say it disgusts me. I like it. I'm definitely on the Seahawks here. If you remember on YouTube, I was concerned with the line because I thought this one should be a touchdown or more. But sometimes it's as simple as, look what happened last week. Washington won a road game in New England, and Seattle got absolutely smacked. So maybe this line is just an overreaction of what happened last week. But the truth is, that was a coin flip game between the Commanders and Patriots. They didn't go in there and beat New England. They ended up winning the game, but it's not like they went in there and just dominated the game. And Seattle got beat by a team on the road against a team that's, I think, would beat down about 90% of the NFL right now. Perfect bounce back spot, back at home. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is the weather, but I don't even know how much that concerns me either, because if it turns into a sloppy game, I like the Raiders defensive front. The Seahawks defensive front seven to really shut Sam Howell down. If he's not able to scramble, I don't know how Washington's going to move the ball in this game. I think the Seattle defense, even after what we saw last week, I like the Seattle defense. I'm big on them. I'm not going to let last week shift anything because Lamar Jackson, that Ravens offense is just excellent right now. So yeah, I'm on Seattle, and it's one of my top bets. I like it. Let's move to Andrew.
Yeah, I'd echo a lot of what you guys said, especially about Sam Howell. He's great if you have him in fantasy. He puts up a lot of points, puts up a lot of empty stats, but sometimes he does still play like he's in college. He makes a lot of dumb throws, a lot of dumb plays, scrambles when he shouldn't be scrambling. A lot of stupid shit. So yeah, I'm backing Seattle in this one at home. You were right. I think it is an overreaction. They did just get blown out, but you're right. Ravens would do that to everybody. So yeah, I'm just on Seattle because I don't trust Washington at all this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there a team in the NFL that the Ravens wouldn't blow out the way they've been playing? Obviously, moving forward, NFL teams do this throughout the season, so they're not going to be playing at this level forever. But the way they're playing right now, I think they're blowing out any other team in the NFL right now, based on how they're playing. All right, let's bring up Toast. Toast is going to bet Seattle, second drive of the game, over 9.5 rush yards.
First of all, that's just not cool.
Opening
I do have a three-way parlay. I just parlayed Ravens, Cowboys, and Seahawks at plus 101.
Say that again.
Seattle, Dallas, Baltimore, all money lines at plus 101. So
I can't really argue with those three teams. Not going to lose. So yeah, and that comes out to plus 101. You said
it does 102 on DraftKings.
Oh, value.
If you want to bet it.
EV.
Thank you.
As projected, our polls all over Seattle there. 55% of our viewers are on the Seahawks, 32% on the Commanders. By the way, obviously we're on Seattle, but there's a lot of professionals taking Washington here and the points. So keep in mind, there are sharps out there that are like Washington. We're just not one of them. Next, Jets at Raiders. Whoa, where'd the we lost the chat. There it is. Sunday night football. Let's clear the picks out. Is this line Jets -1, correct?
Yes, it should be Jets -1. Just need to confirm. It's loading. It's actually 1.5 now.
Jets -1.5.
Yeah, and the total's at 35.5. Wow, Mac Jones, that is rock bottom.
He just took a sack, right?
No, he just threw the ugliest pick I've seen in quite some time.
He just threw a pick? Oh, I'm behind.
I think he should retire. No joke. Let's give Tommy DeVito some reps.
What's the consensus total at?
35.5. Jesus
I'm seeing the pick now. Oh my God.
I mean, he just doesn't know how to throw a football. Like, it's wild.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I guess Hunter Henry's not going to hit his fantasy score of 6.5.
Yeah,
Jesus
dude, trust
Christ,
me,
this is
Toast.
terrible.
I'm pissed about that. What a bad read by me. Should have just bet Ramondre. This is.
I didn't even know you were on it. But,
yeah, I have over 3.5 receptions, plus 160. I mean, this is just rock bottom.
Oh my God.
So I'm on the Jets, and I went through this one pretty in depth on YouTube, so I won't take a ton of time. Basically, I don't see a path where the Raiders are able to move the ball here against this Jets defense. Got Aiden O'Connell, who's really struggled with pressure earlier in his career. In both games, he has not dealt with pressure well. He is Prop Beaver was the one that gave us the stat for that. So over a 42% pressure to sack rate, meaning if he feels pressure, he's going down. He fumbled a ton in the first time. His first start against the Chargers, he fumbled 2 or 3 times. Jets pass rush has been waking up. It wasn't there earlier in the season, but it's been there. I don't see a path to the Raiders scoring points here. Now, do I think the Jets offense is going to do much? No. On the road, and I think this Raiders defense is a little undervalued, but I can definitely see the Jets scoring points. That makes sense to me in my brain more than the Raiders. I'm sure Breece Hall make a play or two. I'm also on the under. I think it's 36.5. It was what I got it at. It's at 35.5 now. It is a primetime game, and primetime unders have been insane. But I was talking about this earlier today. I think the market has caught up to that primetime under thing because, I mean, on the most recent primetime game, what was that? Was that Monday Night Football? No, that was Thursday night. It got bet down 4.5, 5 points. It was at 42.5. Got bet all the way down to 38. Everyone has caught on to the primetime unders trend. For a while, primetime unders, I'm talking about for like 3 or 4 weeks, primetime unders were cashing at an insane rate, and the public was still coming in on the over. It seems like the book is out on the primetime unders, but I would still take the under here. I'm just saying it's starting to proceed with caution with that. Prop Beaver.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jacoby Myers under 3.5 receptions here. You can get that plus 135 on Bet365.
Can I add one thing?
What are we gonna say?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
so it's just frozen. Look at his face.
Yeah, he's frozen.
This guy's saying, can I, and it freezes. Or are we serious now? Okay, so all right, so I'm going Myers under 3.5 receptions, sorry. With Jimmy G and Hoyer starting, Jacoby Myers over, he was a target machine. The guy was 5-1 to the over. He was averaging 6 receptions a game, 8.8 targets per game, and his 27.7 target percentage and 28.3 reception percentage were second only to Devontae Adams. But wow, that was a hell of a pass. But with Aiden O'Connell starting, he's 0-2 to the over, averaging just 2 receptions, 4.5 targets, a 14.8 target percentage, and a 10 reception percentage. His target share and reception percentage have been cut in half. Now he's going to face a Jets defense that allows the second fewest targets per game and sits first in DVOA against wide receiver twos. I'm expecting an insane amount of rushing on both sides with edges on the ground. I mean, Josh Jacobs' rush attempts lines at 16.5. Breece Hall's high as well. And AOC, Aiden O'Connell, has been horrendous under pressure. 40 completion percentage under pressure. Jets have the 4th highest pressure percentage. This game is going to be so disgusting, so vile, so nasty that I think Jacoby Myers is the only reason we're worth watching. Let's root against him. Let's collect our plus 135. Let's go Myers in the under.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm on the Jets. I'm on the Jets with you. I think it was Toast that said it. Somewhere I saw it that it said interim coaches that win their first game, the next week they're god awful.
No, it's probably that said that in the office.
He said that. Okay,
interim coaches that win their first game.
Yeah.
What is the stat?
0-7. 0-7 streak.
Yeah.
0-7 in their second game.
Yeah, so I actually take a lot of stock in that too, because the energy starts to kind of wane in the house, in the room, now that he's been there a little bit. So yeah, I also think the Jets kind of have to win this game. They're making all of this about making the playoffs before Rodgers gets back and everything. But if anybody watched them on Monday, they looked awful. Like, their offense is not great. So they have to come in there. And also, as he said, AOC, we'll see about him, but he doesn't look like what I expected from him coming out of Purdue. So we'll see from that. So yeah, I'm with the Jets in this one.
Toast, are you following that trend? Interim head coaches after winning their first one, or 0-7 in their second one?
If it's on the ticket, I'll tail it. But no, I only played Breece Hall over rush yards. Raiders are a little banged up at linebacker. I think he does pretty well. I did want to say one thing about those unders. In the NFL as a whole, unders right now, 83, 52, and 1. That's the highest mark through 9 weeks since 1991. And then on Monday Night Football, unders 10 and 1 this year.
Crazy.
55, 28 and 1 since 2019. So yeah, unders have definitely been the way to go. Oh, and then night games as well. Night game unders 22 and 7 the last 2 years.
Absolutely. Well, no, that's this season, not the last 2 years. There's been
night games over the last 2 seasons.
There's been more night games than that, bro. 22 and 7.
There's 3 a week.
Yeah, that's this year's night games.
There is 3 a week.
I'm just gonna solid on my point. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm gonna slowly back out. All right.
No, I feel like I'm right.
Dude, there's 3 night games a week, bro. There's been that many night games this year. Our
3 night games times 9 weeks completed, which is 27 at most, and then we had 28, which is Thursday night football, so 28. And
well, there was 2 Monday night games early in the year, though.
Okay.
But still, yeah, that's this year's you just read. Okay, community teaser. Actually, do you have an underdog you want to share?
They still did in the last 2 years. It's 62 and 29.
I could craft one while you
craft one while we do your 5-piece hit last week.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Henry starting our day off ugly, but
did the Jets win that poll though? Really quickly.
Say that again. What did you just say?
Did the Jets win that poll?
No, Raiders did. So 49ers won the poll. I know that, so that'll be 49ers plus 3. Titans won the poll, I think. So that'll be Titans plus 8.5. Browns, Ravens. Ravens won the poll, so that's Ravens money line. And Texans, Bengals. Bengals won the poll, so we'll just say Bengals money line. All right. Cast your votes for the first. If you've never seen this show before, what this is, it's a community teaser. Everyone in the comments votes on their favorite legs, and then we all bet it together. Someone just said Giants money line in the chat. Jesus.
I mean, talk about EV.
I mean, probably
10,000 or plus 1,000.
The amount of the
1,100 or whatever. So you got to win like
the amount of parlays and teasers that probably have Cowboys tied into it this week. I mean, I would imagine there's insane value on the Giants money line. I'm not gonna
There's
bet
not
it.
enough EV in the world to justify a Giants bet.
Ravens. Ravens money line is the first leg. All right, let's go with the second leg. Let's get the vote going. There's not enough in the world. All right. So Saints Vikings. Who won that poll, Toast? Vikings, I think.
Vikings.
Vikings
Yep.
+9. Packers Steelers was definitely Steelers. I remember that. Steelers +3. Falcons Cardinals was Falcons. Falcons +3.5. And Lions. Oh, definitely Lions. Lions +3.5. All right, second leg. So,
I just sent the underdog your way.
All right, cool. So right after we do the community teaser, we'll bring up Prop Beaver's underdog as he looks to go for back-to-back. Is it another 5-piece?
It is another 5-piece, yes. Let's just act like the London game didn't happen or the Germany game. Let's just act like I didn't
Germany
bet
game?
on the Patriots offense. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't. Oh, there was a game this morning? I didn't even know.
Nah, I didn't lose a bet on that.
Weird.
No. Oh, what?
I can't believe it's 10-6. God,
Vikings +9 is going to be our winner on the second leg. So Ravens money line, Vikings +9. Leg number 3 incoming. We got where we leave off here. We left off on Lions Chargers. So we got Giants Cowboys. So we got Cowboys -11.5. Commander Seahawks was Seahawks. So that's Seahawks money line. Jets Raiders. They were on Raiders. Raiders +7.5.
Raiders.
That's a teaser line right there. 1.5 to 7.5.
They benched Mac Jones.
Yep, for the final drive. Good. I mean, this
That's
is truly
insane.
pitiful.
Look for Hunter Henry.
For the love of Christ.
Is it still?
I really like that one too.
It's Bailey Zappi.
Dude, to bench him in the drive to come back and win too. Like, what a weird time to bench your
It'd be
quarterback.
so diesel if he does it.
If he
Do
could,
it, Zappy.
it's one thing to get benched when you're like down 17, you know, but like this is the drive to win the game. It's a 4-point game. Oh
About as
man,
disrespectful as it gets, and it's well deserved at this point.
yeah. I mean, did you see earlier when the Patriots didn't have somebody back to return the punt? Yo, Belichick, what the hell? Yeah, it's cool. 30 yards of field position. We don't need it.
He's checked out.
Belichick's lost his fastball. It's
Guys,
clocking
checked
in
out.
at 88 miles per
Did
hour.
you see
these
him?
days.
Did you see him? That video of him walking out of that house in New
Yeah,
York
I
with
saw
his
that.
shirt off and stuff?
He's too busy banging Detroit skanks to go ahead and produce a
Whoa.
good football team.
Yeah. Whoa. What?
Oh,
So this is a close one between Cowboys and Seahawks. I'm gonna give it 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, end poll. 30 Seahawks money line wins. But okay, for the fourth leg, we're going all second place finishers. So Cowboys -11.5 got a lot of votes, so let's put that up there. 49ers +3 finished in second. What else finished in second place? Steelers +3 finished in second place, and I think that might be it. I'll put Bengals money line in there because some people did vote for that. There you go. What's the final leg of the teaser?
Mac
You're talking
Jones
to me?
went to go give Zappy a fist bump on the side, and like Zappy didn't even want to fist pump him. Things are just bad for him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. A lot of people voting Bengals here. They hate Toast's Houston pick.
That's okay.
You're okay with it?
I mean, I got the best number at 6.5. What am I supposed to do, man?
Well, I mean, I mean, you're used to it. It's like Padres money line. It's just you keep riding it out.
It keeps losing.
Hunter Henry catch.
I need another one. Give me another
What?
one.
Hunter Henry still got
We need
15-yard
more.
catch.
He's still under the thing toast. We need one more catch.
And Bengals money
I
line
know.
is the
I
final.
put
So what are the odds on this? Because here, I'm gonna pull it up myself.
Plus 290 is
I was
what
gonna
Toast
say.
says it usually is.
But they're not standard like that anymore. They
Well, the
used to.
standard's the standard.
Oh, the standard's the standard. That's Really
Just
good
ask Coach
insight.
Tomlin.
Thanks for that
Hey,
razor sharp
yeah.
insight there. Just
ask Coach
standard,
Tomlin, brother.
standard.
A 14 6-point teaser is a 260 standard across the board.
All right,
should
well,
be
we'll see. How about this? How about we see about that? How about we see about that? I'm doing it right now. Because your standard's a bunch of bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
Standard's a standard, my friend.
Standard's a standard. Standard's a standard. All right, Seahawks money line, and then I'm done. Seahawks. Plus 254.
Oh, negative EV for you, I guess.
Standard's a standard, my ass. All right, so community
I
teaser.
remember.
Can I read the teaser, please? Community teaser. Ravens money line. Vikings plus 9. Seahawks money line. Bengals money line at plus 254. Good Lord, I need a winning day. Oh, wait. Last but not least, Prop Beaver looks to cash another 5-piece. Will he crash and burn? Will he live up to the hype?
Let's see.
I'm bringing it up. This is last week's that cashed.
I'm disgusted that these Patriots gave me hope about Hunter Henry and now are going to fuck me.
You're disgusted about it?
Yeah, I threw up a bit in my mouth.
So these are Prop Beaver's legs here. Dalton Schultz higher than 4.5 receptions. Aaron Jones higher than 54.5 rushing yards. Will Levis higher than 223.5 passing yards. That number really soared on you. Tommy DeVito lower than a half passing touchdown. Jacoby Myers lower than 4 receptions. If you don't have an Underdog account, it's available. Whoops, sorry. We lost our camera there. There we go. If you don't have an Underdog account, it's available in any state highlighted on this map.
He threw a pick.
Did he really throw a pick?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pitiful. It was pitiful. This team is like...
Anyway, use the promo code BET, B-E-T, to get a deposit bonus. You deposit $100 on Underdog. If you use the promo code BET, they'll give you a free $100. Everyone, enjoy your day. God damn, I need a good Sunday, man. I need a good Sunday bad. Hopefully we get one. Thanks, as always, for watching. We'll upload the Monday Night Football video tomorrow around lunchtime like we always do. Everyone enjoy your Sunday. Later.
What the hell did I just watch?